Ever since I could remember, I have always been drawn to the desert. In another lifetime, maybe I was a nomad, or a camel, or maybe just a grain of sand. Regardless, it was only a matter of time until I had to address this desire to live, breathe, and exist in what is primarily known to be a barren wasteland. And so, here we are. Wedged in between the Atlantic and the Sahara, Mauritania was born of sand and wind. In order to survive here, people became nomads. 5,000 years ago, the Sahara Desert was green, now existing as a representation of a barren moon. One may think that it is a dark prophecy for what the rest of the world will look like in future's time. And yet, nomadic Mauritanians take pride in their generational ability to handle the harshness of this environment. The nomadic identity of Mauritania is disappearing day by day, but I want to remain in the desert until the day I die. The desert is also a source of inspiration for Mauritanians. The nomadic lifestyle of the Sahara Desert has also given rise to a rich cultural tradition with a strong emphasis on storytelling, poetry, games, and music. This cultural heritage is deeply intertwined with the desert and its inhabitants, and continues to play an important role in shaping Mauritania's identity.
My name is Mohamed Bikri, and I'm a tour guide from Mauritania, and we are here in the capital of Inchiri, Akjouja, and this site is called Bin Shab. Normal people, they are people that like to live in the countryside. They don't like to be in the city, and they always like to move outside the city and to come to the place there is no building, no lights, no cars or something like that. They come to the place for worshipping the camels and looking for the water, and when it's raining, when it is time for raining, they always like to move, because the plant is the only thing that the camel can eat, because when they have the plant, they don't need to buy wheat for the camel or barley, and always they like to settle in the desert. They have a tent, they build a tent as a traditional, what we call khayma, with the kiza, this one that you see, and they build it and they stay. And in each time, in each season, they have to move to change a place. Like right now, they are in Akjouja, the capital of Inchiri, and the north of Mauritania. Sometimes it spent 5 years, 6 years without raining, but the last year it was raining a lot, and this is why we are here. You see a lot of people, they are right now here because there is plant and there is food for camel. But when it's not was raining, they have to move to change the place. You know, the camel, what we call Sabine Sahara. It is Sabine Sahara. It is the sheep of the Sahara, and the people in the past, they don't have plane, they don't have car, they don't have anything for transportation. They just have camels. When they want to travel, they have to travel by camels. When they want to make a trade, they have to make it by a camel. The Nomad people, they always travel as a family, not as a group, because in each part we have a part of family. This region, this one, we have 5 tents or 6 tents. It's belong to one family. Just this is the father with his wife and his children and his cousins, something like that. And the other one they have to take another side. You always like to travel as a group, but a group of family. It is very important for Mauritanian people. Because it is stop when you are hungry, you can stop it, and when you are when you are hungry, you can stop the hunger when you are hungry, and it can make you active when you drink it. And when you spend one day without drinking tea, you have a headache, And for Mauritania people, when they sit together without drinking tea, this is something meaningless. And we have the 3 cups of tea. The first one is sweet like life. The second one is better like love. And the third is gender like death. And when you want to make tea, you have to put some water in the tea pot and put some grain. After that, you have to boil it. After that, you take some tea and to make a foam. And after that, you put sugar and mint. After that, you boil it a little bit and you drink it. This is the way that we make a foam.
Food is an important part of nomadic lifestyle in Mauritania. With limited access to fresh ingredients, many Mauritanian desert nomads rely on dried fruits, nuts, spices for a majority of their meals. But food just isn't sustenance. It's also a way to bring people together. Meals are shared communally, often accompanied by laughter and singing. The spirit of hospitality and joy is the backbone of Mauritanian desert culture, reminding us that even in difficult times, we can still experience moments of true happiness when we come together around the dinner table. Food is a central part of Mauritanian desert nomad culture, and meals are shared communally, often eaten with nothing but bare hands. In this nomadic lifestyle, eating with your hands is not only practical, it's also symbolic. It represents respect for nature and tradition and reinforces the bonds between members of the tribe. Every meal becomes an opportunity to strengthen relationships and express gratitude for one another. The simple act of sharing a meal together reminds us that even in times of hardship, we have something to be thankful for. The people around us who provide support, comfort through good food and friendship. By gathering around the same table, these nomads remind us that there is always something to celebrate, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant it may appear at first. In Mauritania, in the Sahara Desert, I found a nomadic game called Seek. Seek is a game of mathematical strategy, reflecting many aspects of nomadic life, such as the nomad's highly developed oral culture, and through use of easily found materials, saving space and weight on the long desert journeys. From the desert to the city, Seek is one of the few nomadic pastimes that is still upheld, remaining relatively unchanged in the rapidly developing capital of Nouakchott. Seek is played with 2 teams of 2 or 3 players per team. Each player must throw the Seek sticks to the ground at least once before passing them to the next player in an anti-clockwise direction. This means that all players on one team will throw before the next team. A team must attempt to move as many of their pieces to the end of the board and take as many of the opposing team's pieces along the way. At the end of the game, the team that still has any pieces is the winner. Playing Seek is a relaxing time for Mauritanian nomads to get together in the desert, drink tea, and generally have a good time socializing. The games of Seek were competitive throughout the day and also into the night. And to be honest with you, after watching many hours of them play this game, I still have no idea how to play it myself. For thousands of years, the nomad people of Mauritania have been living in harmony with their desert environment. Every day, they embark on a journey to find the precious wood needed to build their homes and cook their meals. This noble task is a treacherous one. Navigating through the hot sand and unforgiving terrain takes skill and knowledge that only these people possess. But despite their difficulties, they never give up, an inspiring testament to the strength of these Mauritanian desert dwellers. The nomads know exactly where to look for valuable resources, relying on centuries-old wisdom passed down from generation to generation. They join forces to collect whatever wood they can find, maintaining a spirit of camaraderie as they continue their mission. Their arduous journey is driven by necessity, but also fueled by a shared passion for life, a reminder that sometimes hardship can bring out our best qualities. It is through this struggle that we learn resilience and gain an appreciation for all of life's gifts.